Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Corn here, and today I have mostly a craft with me. You know I'm chatty, so that's gonna happen too probably, but I like to bring you all along on my projects, at least on one little aspect of them. So as you all know, let me do this. I was working on these guys, my little pockets, and when I did my, I think it was having fun with the process, I think that the last video, things have gotten glued down and everything, and then since we're all tropical and everything, I made a bathing suit to put in each one of these little pockets, and they go in a card. And so the back of the suit doesn't match the front of the suit because this paper came from Michael's, I think 2 years ago, and it was just, let me see, let me show you. It was in a little pack like this, and they just gave you this much, you know, it'd be this much cherries, this much watermelons, and then it had the metallic gold, and one of them said, stay cool, and had ice cream. You know, their summer little fun pack. They look like postcard size to me. So I've got the swimsuit done, and I'm like, well, you know, with the swimsuit they need a little beach bag. So here's the little beach bag that I made to go with it. And even though this watermelon isn't the exact same as that one, because this is the only strip, and I had 4 to make. This is all I had left of the paper after making 4 swimsuits. So I was like, oh, there's my 3 I could fussy cut. And this one you really couldn't do an excellent job of fussy cutting on that one either, so just really 2. So what I did is I took the watermelon from that I'm making the cards with and everything, the piece of paper, 12 by 12 I showed y'all. And these were on the back side of the paper. And so I was able to cut up these guys. And so also I was like, okay, I need a similar pastel blue to match the suit, because remember everything else we're dealing with, you know, like a very bright pink and green, and toned down a little bit with black and white. Well, so I was like, oh mercy sakes, what am I going to do? So I went looking through my paper. I don't have tons of blue, and then I have a Fisker's punch that I punched out the blue scallop circle. And then I took this metallic marker. It says fine point. Not what I consider a fine point, but I like it. And tried to mimic the best I could the design that's on the suit. So, and then inside of it, it almost looks like a gift bag. I might end up taking that out because I don't want to, you know, I don't want it to look like a gift bag, but it does right now, I think. I took this. You guys remember this at Hobby Lobby 2 years ago when they put it on clearance? It's by Bag of Chips. Love the name. It came out 8 years ago, guys, and it was 75% off. And so I was like, oh my goodness, that bright green goes with everything now. So I was trying to figure out things I wanted to do with it. And so just goofing around, I have this scrap of paper, and I was making sure that if I glued it down, that it was super happy to stay there and everything. So I'm not sure yet what else I'm going to do, but what I decided to do was take a square, make a square piece, 4 by 4, and then fold it a certain way, put it in the beach bag so that it looked like a beach blanket. I know fabric would be better, but I was thinking about, you know, those, at one time people were taking out this metallic looking towel and putting it on the beach and then lying on it and getting like twice as much sun. Well, this one, having that certain glow to it, this, if you want to tan, it lets you tan safely so that your skin's okay. That's what I'm saying if I leave it in. So I thought maybe we'd want to do one of these guys together, okay? So, let me see here. And yes, my desk is even in worse state than it was. It is a wreck. So first off, we do have our piece of paper is a 2x4, which I burst out laughing because I was like, oh my stars and garters. That reminds me of when I was working with, you know, stuff with the house and, you know, with wooden boards. 2x4s are really, really popular. So that's what you're going to have. 2 inches by 4 inches is what we're going to start off with. Our ribbon for the handles are 2 7/8. Okay. And then with the decoration, like I said, I just fussy cut these out of the back of the 12x12 paper. And then I'm not sure where I got this pastel blue paper, but the punch, small scallop punch is Fiskars. Okay, so here we go. So you're going to take, let me make sure that I am in frame. Yes, I am. Okay. Well, that looks good. Look, the little circle looks good with the scoreboard. This is a score buddy. It also has the 8s, and I really like it. I do. What I'm doing, though, normally I use this, but because this is just so tiny, I'm finding that, let's see, I use the smaller ball, this one. Finding that I do it with the stylus instead, but I don't normally do that. Normally I do it with this or with this one. So the first thing you're going to do, you're going to score it, if you're interested in doing it, you're going to score it at 1/2. And I go back and forth because it is cardstock. You're going to score it at 1 7/8. Whoops, make sure it's where it's supposed to be. Don't let it slide around. Okay, then we're going to do 2 3/8. Let me make sure. Yeah. I've got so many figures on here, I've confused myself. 2 3/8. And then the last one is 1/4. And what I do, which you all could just go ahead and do it at the end, and what I do for 1/4 is I just flip it over and mark it at the 1/4 mark. Okay. So then you're going to flip it over like so. And like so, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Yeah, where your 1/4 is up against here. And you're going to go down 1/2. Okay. Okay, so that it looks like this. I don't know. Here's hoping that the light is making this score marks apparent. Okay. Alrighty. Now, we're going to take our smaller scissors, which are Martha Stewart, which I love. And the first thing we're going to do is cut this piece off where it's the 1/4 inch. score mark, we're just going to cut that off. Bye-bye. We don't need you. Get out of here. And of course, if you've done this so many times that you just go ahead and come up and then over, I don't do that. I cut that little piece off first, and then I cut down like so. And then what you're going to do, in case you're wondering, I have 2 trash cans. One recycles all my little teeny tiny paper bits. Then you're going to go here and here. We're just going to cut up to the score line. You're still cutting up to your score line. And what you can do at this point is go ahead and just, you know, crease all your score lines and everything. But what I do at this point is, because when I was putting them together, they were so stiff, and it hit me that, you know what I mean, to mail this in flat mail would be, and have it like come straight out, you know what I mean, straight out from that 1/2 inch, they would get mushed probably. So I have make a score line in the right between, you know, at 1/4, and then that way it kind of squish, you know, and squish it up there, and not all the way down, but close. And I think it will do better in flat mail that way. So I'm going to go ahead and make my score marks for those, to right down the middle of our 1/2, okay? And I do it afterwards because I was coming all the way down, and you don't need to. You can just, what did I do with my stylus? There we go. That's the big end. Like, for example, here, you're going to go and do right in the middle. And then on this one. Okay. And that'll just help you, you know, with your folding and everything. So right now, like I said, we've gone in the middle of our 1/2 and 1/2, which is going to be your sides. And this is what we're going to hold it together with. We've cut here, 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 and here. And so now you can do all your folding. So how are you all doing today? I hope it's a good day for you guys. I heard on the radio that the virus is stronger than ever, and that they're talking about the kids have to return to school. Oh, mercy. I just hope and pray for everybody, you know? And then here. And you can take your bone folder, you know, and do like so for everybody. But I personally, I usually do that, but I haven't been doing that. That's why I did that score mark, y'all, so it would be easier, you know. And then see, that goes in. You don't have to, but I thought it was easier that way. And one thing, I messed one up. I mean, you can't tell because it's on the bottom, but still I learned that when it comes to gluing them, since this is going to be glued to this piece, like so, making that the back. Then just make sure that this piece is glued here, making that go towards the back also. I did one towards the back and then one towards the front. I was like, oh, I messed up. Okay. And then, before I glue all that down, since I have my 2 pieces of ribbon, like I said, I cut these at 2 7/8. And this ribbon came from Hobby Lobby. This was in the floral section. You get 225 feet, y'all, because it's only 1/8 of an inch. And I got it for 75% off, so not bad at all. I think that makes it, for Hobby Lobby, 124, I think, is what that comes out to. But for me, and I know you could say, oh, I'm just going to eyeball it and put here, 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 here. I don't, as you all know, I don't eyeball things, but you're more than welcome, if you want to do these, to eyeball them. I don't know if you can see me right now, but I am going to mark them with my pencil, just 1/4 inch from the edge, here, 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 and here. I'm sorry if I'm not in frame, but I need to use my mat for this. And it's just for me because I want it to be just so. That's how I do it. Okay, so see, I've just marked 1/4 of an inch away from there. I am using my, normally I would use like my Fabri-Tac or something, but this is such a tiny piece of ribbon that the Fabri-Tac would just, you know, I don't have it in where it's a teeny tiny stream of glue. It would just be a big old mess. So I'm using my, this is art glitter glue. So all I do is just put some down here. And yes, this for me, I don't know if it's because I have big, oh, and that doesn't want to, yeah, here it comes. Because I have big fingers or what, but I get glue all over myself with this, because you kind of have to hold it down for a little bit. See? And I've been getting it all over me. Today's been a productive day for me. Just a bunch of work around the house and a nice lunch, because sometimes we do a fast lunch, you know, with Handsome being home all the time, you know, working from home. And sometimes we don't, you know, sometimes we do a very, you know, quick lunch. It's not too elaborate, but I made a nice one today. That takes a lot of time, doesn't it? It takes a lot of time to clean up after it, too. So I just wanted to make sure I put my ribbons on well one time, too. But the good thing was my art glitter glue hadn't held it too tight yet. See, it wants you to hold it for a while. I guess being ribbon, I reckon. And then let me make sure, okay. If I had fabric that had like a tiny little tropical print on it, that would be adorable to just go ahead and cut a square with my pinking shears, you know, and use that as a beach blanket. but I don't have it. Like I said, I don't do lots of summer stuff. I have had some people in the comments say that they do a lot of bright, most of their colors are bright, or they say most of theirs are pastel like me, but that they like this color combination, that lime green and the pink. They like that. Handsome loves it because of that green. Remember, green's his favorite color. In fact, I have sitting over here, I'm making him, I can't say too much because it's going to surprise him, but I'm making him a little something for his office. Okay, so we've got that there. And remember, we've decided with the gluing of all this other stuff, we're going that way and that way. All right. So the first thing that we should glue is this side here. Ooh. I think I had way too much fun with my glue there. And I'm just going to go, well, it doesn't want to come out, does it? Like so. Get that corner up there. And if you have large hands, you know, you're just trying to hold it together the best you can. If you have petite hands, then you'll be fine. But me putting even my index finger in there is pushing on it. Mercy. Okay. So we got that going on. And what I do, you don't have to do this either, but this is just the way I do it. I go ahead, let me make sure this is where it's supposed to be, because I've had that come up on me before too if I did it too soon. And like we said, since we're going this way, this flap will be last. And what I do is I just put a little glue on these flaps too. Just, you know, just to hold things just so. You know, it doesn't hurt. And sometimes I have to come in because there's no way my hands will get in there, and just make sure with your bone folder or something even bigger, make sure that they're adhering. And then just put it on this flap. And then y'all are all set to decorate it any way you want. And again, when it comes to, I go ahead and I do press it on my mat, and then I pinch my little sides again. And if you all want to see me do the other, which of course you could decorate this any way you wanted, but let me do this too before we do that. If you're interested, again, let me make sure it's, yeah, here we go. The paper is 2x4. The ribbon for the handles is 2 inches and 2 7/8 inches. You're going to score it at a half, 1 7/8, 2 3/8, and 1/4. Then you're going to turn it and score it at 1/2 all the way down. And then you're going to cut. Once you get down to the 1/4 inch score, you're going to cut that completely off and then make a little diagonal there. Okay? So what I did to try to look, and if you want to scoot now, I understand 100% because you're probably like, I'll do my own thing. But isn't that fun for your little beach bag? You know? Oh, and if you're interested in how I did which you all know how to do this because it's almost the exact same thing you do when you do have a gift bag and you're trying to, I can't cut a straight line, that's why I have to do it this way, y'all. You know how when you have a gift bag and you're putting in your tissue paper? It's pretty close to that. I have to do this way because I cannot draw cut a straight line, or draw it, just save me. So all I did, and it's also when, have you all ever made those flowers that the petals are like this too? And then you cross it over like this, and then you cross it over like so. There's a whole lot of crossing over going on. And for these little bags, I just go ahead and kind of scrunch it together a little. And then, so instead of beach bags, if you want to make them like, this is beach bags for me because of those swimsuits, but if you want to make it like little gift bags, and then maybe even, that'd be kind of fun, wouldn't it, to have in your flat mail and put like a charm or something down here. That'd be kind of fun too, wouldn't it? So what I do here, and I might have to get this, normally, like I said, you'd see the top of my head because of my eyesight. I can't do things like far away. And so what I do is I go ahead and place this on one of my little squares on my mat. And then I put a watermelon here to kind of guide me on what I can and can't do. Then I take my metallic marker, and as you see, it just has basically little flourishes, you know. So you have a little flourish here, and a little flourish here. And then polka dots. And then I flip it over, put it back in my square, and then do my little flourishes again. And polka dots. That's it. And then try to place it where it's supposed to be. It's so little, I have to use these. And I just use my art glitter glue again. I don't know why it's being so stubborn today. It's odd, because I just put quite a bit in it. Okay. So let's go like so. And then with this mat, this is a Martha Stewart mat too. What you have to do is just sort of clean it that way. I don't have a baby wipe out right now. And then try to do it as best. I got a whole lot of glue on my tweezers though. Excuse me, y'all. Excuse me. Okay. Let's see what's going to happen here. And so right about like so. Of course, I'm going to have either clearing my throat or coughing while I do a video. Oh, mercy. Let me show you real quick again. Here's our bathing suit, and then his beach bag to match. And like I said, if you all wanted to make it as a little gift bag, put little goodies in, or a purse, or what have you, Karen's probably going to add something right here in the middle and make it a little purse. And I'd like to thank you all for joining me today, and I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening. Bye-bye, everybody. Take good care.